Hey, what's good, Westworld fans? This is the Confire Crew, and today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 1, The Original. Wow, I am so excited for this show and this episode and everything that went along with it. I have to be honest, I didn't really know much about it going into it. I have not watched the original. I haven't done any research. I didn't read the synopsis. I just want this story to unfold the way they decided to tell it to me in the show. And they did a really good job of it. Before we get started on the breakdown, if you're new to this channel and you just found us from Westworld, be aware we do talk about Walking Dead stuff on Mondays, we talk about Game of Thrones on Wednesdays, and then on Fridays we do a movie-related show. But we are adding Westworld to the mix. We will be covering it in depth every single week, and I cannot wait. Okay, so, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on Westworld stuff, but let's go ahead and jump into a breakdown of this episode. I thought this show did a really good job of drip feeding us the layout of this whole world that they've created for us. I love how they used Dolores to kind of narrate this story in like this interview format as the story was actually unfolding, before our eyes. Basically, what we have here is you have this designed world, right? It's kind of like the Truman Show, right? Maybe it's got borders or something like it, and then it's populated by newcomers / guests. And android / host. That's the names they use for both, and that this entire thing is overseen by the company or a company that has this 3D, holographic image of the entire world. And the one thing that they keep pushing up on us that we learned pretty early on is that the host cannot hurt the guest.
What if I told you that you can't hurt the newcomers?
I love how they use Teddy and Dolores to show us how the androids are set on a loop and that they have a script. Now they can alter their story within the confines of the script, but the story can indefinitely change, and a lot of that's due to guest interactions. If you notice, the first time Teddy walks into the town, the sheriff is talking to him. The next time he's talking to a guest. And then also the second time Teddy doesn't get to Dolores, he's interrupted by some guests. And he ends up in like this brothel or whorehouse or whatever, being as a guide for the guest. So I thought that was really cool and interesting how each time you see it, you're going to see something different unfold. I think they'll be able to do a lot of really cool things with that aspect. We also learned that the androids believe that they are real. And then anytime that they're at the company, being worked on or whatnot, that is a dream state for them. We also learned that when they are malfunctioned beyond repair, that they end up going into storage. So you basically just got a bunch of bucket naked people, a bucket naked androids just chilling down in the basement. You already know that something is going to go on with them. It's inevitable. So when that starts popping off, it's going to be pretty scary. A bunch of naked people coming at you. Early on in the show, we discovered that Anthony Hopkins' character, Dr. Ford, has created new lifelike gestures called reveries, right? They managed to tap into the subconscious or the memories of the androids to allow them kind of develop their own gestures and make them even more lifelike. This is and will be one of the main catalysts for this entire storyline. You already start to see that unfold when they bring in Mr. Abernathy for questioning. That's Dolores' father. He sees that picture. He starts questioning his existence, his creation. He starts having flashbacks to when he was like a professor. He's quoting Shakespeare and all this kind of stuff, right? The funny thing I find that I feel like is going on with this is that Dr. Ford, although I know he created these reveries on purpose, I also believe that he is aware that this glitch would happen, and I think that's his ultimate end game. Really, I believe that's his whole goal. If you go back to this conversation when Bernie goes back to Dr. Ford, and Bernie's that black software guy, right? He goes back to Dr. Ford and he's kind of telling him about his mistake. Dr. Ford goes into this explanation of the human race has gotten, we won't get any better. We're done. We've capped out, okay? We can cure any disease. We can keep the weakest person alive. Pretty soon, we'll be able to bring people back from the dead, all right? So I'm not sure if his motives are to push those boundaries or to go past human race with just androids. I think it may be a little bit deeper than that. What do y'all think about the fact that maybe Dolores is, crafted after a daughter of his that, died tragically or was murdered? or maybe it was his wife that died tragically or was murdered. And then he used this, these androids and modeled her after a relative of his. I don't know. I know they made a comment earlier in the show about Dr. Ford's going to chase his demons right off the cliff or something. So I don't know. He just didn't seem all the way there. He always seemed like he was in distant thought, worried about something else or thinking about something else. So with the way this show is probably going to be dark and have all these twists and turns, I wouldn't put it past the show to do that. Something I'm really anxious to see play out. Now, let's jump on over to Ed Harris's character, a.k.a. the Man in Black. He's going to be the second catalyst of this on some other kind of level. Don't know what he's got going on, but it's very intriguing, right? He's been there for 30 years. He obviously has like some kind of developed relationship with Dolores somehow for some reason. I don't know if the show's referring to him as the original, like maybe he's the original guest because he's been there for 30 years. I don't know if they're referring to Dolores because she happens to be the oldest that's still active in this world. Don't know. All I know is he scalped this game talking dude and cut his top of his head off, and they have some stuff etched on the inside of it. He makes this comment about, I'm playing a deeper level of the game. I'm just not here to get my rocks off. I'm here for the deeper level of the game. I don't know if he's after something in particular. Don't know if it's some kind of hidden treasure hunt. I don't know. I don't got a clue, but I'm excited to find out. Now, here's what I find interesting. When the sheriff malfunctioned and they took him back to the company, they had scalped him too. Also to note that like the head security lady, when she's talking with one of her workers, she makes a comment about lobotomy does good, about keeping them in control. And it looks like that's what they were doing. Maybe that's where their memories are. That's where they wipe them. That's where all the software is kind of where their brain's supposed to be at. It looks like Ed Harris is aware of that. I would say that maybe he had scalped that sheriff before they took him in, but they didn't make any notice of it. And they fixed them. So I'm not really sure what to think about that. I know they're connected in some kind of way. Because again, the show is going on and on about wiping their memories. Wiping their memories. It must be nice to be you. You could just go to sleep and forget everything. They make several comments about that. I would like to also point out that when they are talking to the sheriff, Bernie makes this comment verbatim that's like, he literally could not hurt a fly.
His core code is intact, which means he can't hurt a guest. He literally couldn't hurt a fly.
Again, trying to push to the idea that the host cannot hurt the guest. If you remember back from the very beginning, you have that fly is walking across Dolores' eye. You see the fly walking on Teddy's face. It's like they can't feel it. But we know they can feel it because at the very end of the episode when it's closing out, you have that fly land on Dolores' neck and she's like, kills that motherfreaker. Again, it's inevitable. You know that's where the show's going to go. Whenever you have androids and humans in the show together, that's just the storyline, right? The androids become self-sufficient. They don't need the humans. And if you go back to that head security guy, he does make this comment early on where he's talking to Bernie. He says, yeah, if you had kids, you would know that they always rebel eventually. Okay, so you got the setup. You see the writing on the wall. You know what's going on, but I'm so interested to see how they're going to go about doing it. Guys, that's pretty much the breakdown of this video. I hope you enjoyed this show and this episode as much as I have. Write down in the comment section below and let me know what you think about Westworld. Are you excited about seeing it? Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date on Westworld information, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, and again, some movie-related stuff, top 3, character breakdowns or whatnot. We have a lot of fun on this channel, guys, so go ahead and stick around, subscribe, and until next time, we out.